Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Tony House. Welcome. So basically, in this wonderful individual reading that I'm going to do, this individual reading is for Aquarius. This will be for February 25th to March 5th of 2026. So you know what, Aquarius, I understand what you're going through. I understand that there are things you must learn first in order to do it. I know that you're going through something, a rough time, and that's how it goes. But you know what, you need to understand about how you're going to be doing it in that perfection of how it goes, right? Everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be all good. This is not short and sweet. This is the way it works, right? So you have to have your own guarantees because the way how this is, the way how you're going to understand and improve your point, because this is how it works. So you understand what you're going through in that way because that's how it is, right? So everything's going to be all good, but this is how it goes. So you understand of how it is in that way because you have to make sense. And in order to make sense, you have to understand that, right? It's the way how it works, right? So you understand of how it's going to be in that way of how it goes, right? So this is how it is because in that way, if you're having a good day, and let's say you're having a not so good day, whatever it is, there's something that's happening in that way, right? So you have to improve your points wisely. You have to get the better of you, right? That's how it goes, right? So I can see it in that way, whether things are really all good, but then it's like how you're going to do it, how you're going to, how it goes, right? How you're going to expand your emotions. It doesn't matter, but the way this is, it's going to be how it is. So the cards have been shuffled and dealt and everything else. But the way this is, we're going to figure out what's happening in this way, because this is how it goes. So you have to see it in a wonderful direction. You have to know about how it, and that's how it goes. So you have to see it as wonderful feeling. But this is how it goes in that way. Okay? So here we go. So in this reading for you, Aquarius, I know that you're going through something. So the Seven Pentacles up, you're basically maybe looking for a career. That's how it goes. Eight Pentacles for yours. There's no perfection. I just said that earlier. 8 Wands, there's speed here. That's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, Aries, Sagittarius. 8 of Swords, there's anxiety because you're feeling sad, you're whimpering. That's how it goes. 10 of Swords, there's all these conclusions. That's how it goes. And in the 9 Pentacles, there's you want to be comfortable. But the way this is. This is going to be how an opportunity is, right? This is the way it is. So let me try to understand what's happening. So I'm going to clarify. I love that word. I'm going to clarify between the 10 of Swords, the 8 Wands, and the 7 Pentacles. 8 of Cups, there's prosperity about love. 5 Pentacles, you are insecurity about money. The Queen of Swords, there's no independence. Ace of Wands, there's no new beginnings. But 10 of Swords, there's conclusions. Obviously there is, because that's the way how it works. So when you feel like you have, the Queen of Swords, there's no independence. I have no idea. But the way this is, you have to do things by yourself, So if you keep procrastinating every single time and you hate it, well, you know what? Stop doing it. But the way this is, you have to show your support, That's how it goes. It's like you don't want anybody to, hold your hand and cross in the street. That's how it goes, right? But the way this is, you have to pay attention. You have to know exactly how it is in that way, right? So let me clarify between this 8 Pentacles all to this 8 of Swords. 6 Wands, there's celebration. Taurus, there's transformation. 10 Pentacles, there's no wealth. King of Cups, there's support. 8 of Cups, there's entertainment. Empress, there's nourishment. Yeah, that's how it goes. So when the 10 Pentacles reverse, you have no money, right? That's how it goes. Because you think, well, why me? Why me? I don't have money. Because you keep doing it. You keep saying that, oh, I have money, but then I don't have money, but you're using someone else's money. It's unfair, right? So you have to understand that when you are having your own potential feeling about when you have support, you have to do it. It's the way how it works, right? It's the way of how it goes. So let me clarify between this Empress and this 9 Pentacles. Page of Swords, there's no education. Page of Pentacles, there's no prospects. For one, there's celebration. Yeah, that's how it goes. So I can see that, that's how it goes down the road. But the way this is, whether you have to figure out what's going on, right? So the way how this is, that's how it is, right? So I understand that. But when you feel like this, and you think, well, I don't like this feeling, well, then stop doing it. right? It stopped about, doing what you're doing, because that's how it goes. You see it as one fulfilling, right? So let me clarify this 10 of swords here. Those are right, there's obsessions, addictions. Yours, you already have a soulmate. Taurus, yours, there's no transformation. Hey man, it's alright, there's restrictions. Yeah, because you're being restricted. You're being restricted because you want to do things by yourself, but then if you have the devil, as in the obsessions, addictions, that's how it goes, you're acting like it. You're acting, whether, oh, I'm having a good day, it's like, no, I'm not. So you know what, Aquarius, keep acting like that. If you keep acting like that, you have to understand that you have to improve your point to change your emotions around. Change it by having a happy life rather than having a poor life or whatever it is, right? And I'm not being mean or rude, but the way of this is you have to understand it. You're not trying to play games here, okay? The way of this is you need to understand that, right? Because this is how it goes, right? So let me clarify this Empress to this 4 of Wands here. Lower Sarah, you're making decisions. Temperance Sarah, there's healing. Star Sarah, there's inspiration, yeah, because you wish upon a star. You're healing because of what's happening. The lower Sarah, you're making decisions because that's what you want. You have to make decisions in order to do it, because when you keep saying, well, I don't want to do this anymore, or I quit, or it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your own emotions and say, well, I don't want to do this, but you keep doing it. They'll clarify this Hangman. Taurus, there's transformation. Hangman, there's restrictions, and judgments, you're taking action. Obviously there is. You're going to take actions on how you're feeling. The way of this is, you need to have it as when fulfilling. You're not playing games here. No, you're not. But the way this is, you're acting like, oh, I'm happy today. Okay. But then it's like, no, I'm not. So you're acting like you're fine, but you're not fine. Aquarius, you get to the point. You get it through your own mind, right? This is how it goes. If you keep this up, day after day, week by week, month to month, year by year, everything changes. For your well-being, your self-respect, whatever it is. But if you keep this up, you have to understand that if people want to be with you, you have to let them know, right? If they don't want to be with you and you keep this up, people are going to walk away from your emotions, how you're feeling, that's how it goes. And I know it. I know how it is, right? That's how things be. So let me clarify this star. Star is over there's inspiration. High Priestess star, you're using your voice. And for yours, there's no structure. Death card, yours, there's no endings. Fools over there's change. Obviously there is. So I can see that. I can see that how it is, because you're acting like you're like a fool, but you're not. Everything has to change in a way of how it is. Right? I'm not being stupid here, I'm not. But the way this is, you need to understand it. You need to change your direction. Right? Let me clarify this lovers here. Certain cards ever you want bravery, world reverse, there's incompletion. Term series, there's no healing. Moon is ever there's misrotations, yeah, because you're being affected by the moon. So when you're being affected by the moon, then it's like, well, this is how it goes. Right? You have to see it. So let me clarify this judgment here. Empress, sorry, there's nourishment. Fool reverse, there's no change. Star reverse, there's no inspiration. Just sorry, you're telling the truth. That's how it is. You need to tell the truth because but you are basically wanting. Right? This is how it goes. If you keep this up and you need to tell the truth, you have to do it. Right? Like I said before, no one's not going to cross your hand across the street by yourself. If you want to show your independence, do things by yourself. Don't let others to help you. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't know. But it all depends on your emotions, on your feelings, on your, the way how it is. If you keep this up more than once, I guarantee you that you're going to make it through the week, from Monday to Friday, Monday to Saturday, it doesn't matter. But you have to keep this up, no matter how it goes. Okay? What's this moon card about? Cherry Earth, there's no progress. There is that where you're making decisions. Obviously there is. right? You have to understand that when you make decisions, that's what you want, right? You have to believe it. You have to understand it. You need to understand about your own strengths, your own abilities, your own weaknesses, right? Your ability is you pay attention to this reading, no matter how it goes, right? So if you keep this up, no matter how it goes, you understand that. Because you're not making progress. No, you're not. The way of this is, you have to understand that. You have to have your own routine, your own ways of knowing what to do. You have to have it, right? This is not mind control. This is not the way how it goes. That's why I'm laughing about that, because I said that. But the way this is, you have to understand. You have to understand of how you're feeling in that way. What's this feel card about? Strength card is alright, you're on bravery. Taurus is no transformation. Just already you're taking action. Obviously there is. So when you have the strength, you're basically, working on another Leo as a fire sign. But the way this is, you have to know about it. You have to have your own abilities to understand what you want, what you get, what you provide. Because the way this is, you are not saying that, oh, I'm not going to play games here. No, you're not. Because the way this is, you have to go with the flow, right? That's how it goes. So let's see what's in the middle of this situation, please. Strength card is that right? There's bravery. Yeah, because you want to be brave, right? You want to be brave because that's what it is, right? So let's see. So let me clarify between this justice here. 10 structures, there's no conclusions. 9 cups here, there's no romance. 2 wands here, there's no planning. 3 cups here, there's no celebration. 9 swords here, there's no trauma. 5 swords here, there's no conflict. Empress here, there's no nourishment. And 9 wands here, there's fear. Yeah, that's how it goes. You have to have, I don't know why you're having fear, but you know what, Aquarius, you have to get to the point. You have to understand that. You have to take a risk, and that's how it goes, right? That's how it needs to be. Let's put the strength card to the right side, please. Hermit Earth, you already have a soulmate. Moon is that right? There's misrotation. Star Earth, there's no inspiration. Emperor Earth, there's no structure. 2 swords Earth, there's no movement. King of Earth, there's no support. 5 cups over there's grief. Yeah, there it is. So when you're having grief, you are basically having grief, right? There's no ifs, there's no buts, nothing. But that's how it goes, right? So you might have to do it in our Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You might have to do it in our Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's how it goes in that way. What's the middle of this situation? 4 wands here, there's no celebration. Taurus, there's progress. Yes, exactly. You're going to make progress eventually. But when you are over this fear, that's how it goes, right? Let's see what this universe is saying. So I'm going to go from the middle to the right, middle to left. 5 wands here, there's no chaos. Page cups here, there's no loyalty. 10 pentacles over, you want wealth. 5 cups here, there's no grief. 3 cups here, there's celebration. Yes, exactly. So you want money because that's how it goes. You want things to happen your way, and that's how it goes in that way. Okay? That's between this 5 wands reversed in the middle, all the way to the left side, please. Queen of Swords, Queen wands reversed, there's no charisma. Judgment reversed, there's no action. 3 wands over, there's communication. Yeah, you're going to communicate. Yeah, you're going to communicate on how you're feeling. What's the 3 cups here? 10 swords here, there's conclusions. 8 wands over, there's speed. 10 cups here, there's completion. Yeah, everything's completed. What's the 3 wands about? 8 of pentacles here, you want perfection. 9 cups here, there's no fulfillment. High priestess here, there's no inner voice. Here, is already there's guidance. Yeah, that's how it goes. Yep. What's this 10 cups about? 10 here, there's no healing. 9 wands here, there's no immaturity. 8 cups here, there's no satisfaction. 3 pentacles here, there's excitement. Obviously there is, yeah. What's this Hierophant about? Taurus, there's no transformation. 2 swords here, your rich path you're going to take. 2 cups here, there's no relationships or friendships. Just for yours, you're not telling the truth, you're lying about something. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I understand that. So I'm going to clarify that, please. Now, Pentacles over, there's trust. Six Cups here, there's no past. King Cups over, there's loyalty. You want support. That's what you want. Okay, I can see that happening. What is Three Pentacles about? Seven Cups is over, there's a delusion. But just here, there's no skill. Six Wands here, there's no achievement. Page One here, there's no invention. Six Pentacles over, you want kindness. Yeah, you're going to have kindness, whether you're going to have it in that way. Interesting. Let me clarify this King Cups here. Ace Pentacles over, you want growth. Ace Swords over, you want understanding. Yeah, you want understanding. Yep. Let me clarify this this kindness. Nine Swords over, there's trauma here. Seven Swords is that where you're feeling deceit. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. What's in the middle of this situation? Queen of Pentacles over, you want stability. Page Swords over, you want education. Queen of Swords first is no independence. Oh yeah. You're not showing your independence. No, you're not. Nope. Five of Pentacles here, there's no insecurity. Seven Pentacles over, you want a career. Okay. Strength careers, there's no bravery, so you're being scared again. Eight of Swords first, there's no anxiety. 10 Wands over, there's burden. Or 2 Wands over, there's planning here. Okay. Opposite. Queen Cups over, there's empathy. Yeah, because there's two sides to the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. You decide, right? So the way all this is, the way how you're going to understand of how you're feeling, you have to understand that. You have to believe in that way. Because you know what, Aquarius, I know how you're feeling. I know how everything is. But you have to get to the point where you want empathy. You want to see two sides of the story. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense. But you decide, You decide about what's happening in that way, whether what keeps you, busy and how you're doing in that way, And Aquarius, I know how you're feeling, because in that way you need to have your own self-respect. You have to believe it. You have to achieve it, But the way this is, if you can't show your independence, and you want people to help you, fine. But you know what? If you're acting, sassy, or you're acting like how you're feeling, the way all this is, you need to believe that you have to turn things around. You have to look things into perspective, right? That's how it goes. But you have to understand that. I know how you're going through. I know how things are. But you know what? If you keep this up, no matter how it goes, there's always a silver lining to every situation, right? That's how it goes. And that silver lining has to draw to a line, right? So if you get to the finish line, you're going to get there. But that's how it goes, right? So that's how it needs to be. But, that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this video. Try to understand it. Try to believe it. Try to understand. And this is how it goes. So I hope you all like it. And that's how it is. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you. And have a nice day. Thank you. And bye.